Hi folks, it's Mike with ModSolar. What I'm going to show you today is the ModSolar iPad app, currently for trade shows, but soon will be able to be used by salespersons in the field selling solar installations to homeowners. So let's go ahead and get started. What you see here is the ModSolar icon on the home page of the iPad. I'm going to go ahead and touch that to get started. And what I see is that over here on the right, we've got some education, and on the left, we can generate a proposal. Now, this education piece will be added later so that when your salespeople are talking with a homeowner, they can actually flip through educational information and discuss various points with the home or business owner. Over here on your left, we're going to touch to go ahead and generate a proposal, and you'll see it comes loaded with a test proposal and one that I've already done. But what we really want to do is generate a new proposal today. So what we've got here is lead information, home or business owner information, and it's obviously the most important part of the process. Now, as we've been using this at trade shows, we tried it with Bluetooth keyboards, but what we've actually found is that it's a better experience to just go ahead and enter the information of the homeowner, home or business owner, while you're talking with them. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my home address so that you folks can see. Please no unexpected visits if you would. And you can see it's pretty easy just to touch around and go ahead and enter in key information like the ModSolar phone number. I'll put it here so you folks have it when you're ready to call us. And of course email, which is critical. You really, really want to get email, not just because it's a great way to communicate with potential customers, but also because you can actually email them the proposal that you're generating right out of this iPad app. So once I enter the contact information, you'll see that my name is up there now. And what this presents is a way for you to engage with a homeowner and find out what their usage is. If you're sitting at a kitchen table, you'll know that. If you're not, you can ask them to estimate. Typically what we do at trade shows is just say, well, about how much electricity are you using on a monthly basis? What's your average? Well, my average is about 200 a month, and you'll see that it automatically calculates yearly kilowatt hours. Now that's based on the rates here in eastern part of Pennsylvania. When this is loaded for you, you'll give us your local utility rates or the rates that you want to use, and we load that in here for you. You can also make it a roof or a ground mounted, and what we do here is that since the pricing of the app is based on price per watt, we actually typically up the price per watt with a ground mount by an amount that you tell us. Now once we have usage information, we can go ahead and hit next. And you'll see that one of the improvements we've made, for those of you who have seen the video recently, is we're actually loading the map in the background while we're on the usage page in order to make it faster. So there's my house, and as you can see, I have a beautiful southern-facing roof. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up a little bit more to give myself some room. And really all I'm going to do is draw the solar system on my roof. Now, right now in a trade show application, these are not 100% accurate, right? We tend to need to move these points around and get it a little better. We're working on some improvements right now that'll enable you to actually nudge these points in whichever direction you want. And we do recommend that you use a stylus. It's what's called a capacitive pen with this, so that for those of you that have fat fingers like mine, it'll make it a little bit easier to go ahead and use the pen and you have a finer point. So once I've drawn the system on the page, I can just go ahead and tap it to get the dimensions. Now I've got a perfectly southern facing roof, so I actually don't need to move the azimuth of the direction of the system. But if I did, I would just grab this point here, okay, and move the azimuth to the bottom, really perpendicular to the roof line. But I've got a southern facing roof, so I'm going to leave it. And you'll see that the app calculates the total DC watts, which is the spatial DC watts. It's not laying out arrays or taking into consideration panel sizes at this time. And then the square footage that it was able to draw. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now it's actually generating the proposal, the numbers, taking into account the incentives in your state and whatnot. So you'll see here on the top left, we've got what to expect, total cost of materials minus state and federal incentives with a total out-of-pocket cost. And we've got the system size right here. And here it is calculating the number of panels, again, just based on the kilowatt, the DC kilowatt size, not based on any spatial rendering, although that is coming, the price per watt, and then the amount that you'll replace or the amount of electricity that you'll generate. So this system will replace 65% of my usage, and I'll generate close to 13 megawatts per year. megawatt hours. Now, let's say that you're at a trade show and you say, okay, total out of pocket is going to be 41,000, and somebody gives you some sticker shock. So what you do in that case is you go ahead and you can just turn the dial down. Okay, let's say we want it around 30,000. Okay, Mr. Dershowitz, there's $30,000. Is that a little bit more to your liking? You'll see that it only replaces 48% of your electricity usage. Yeah, that's about right. Thank you. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and move on. So I can either swipe or touch this button down here. I'm going to touch this button down here, and what I get here is a monthly pre and post solar financial calculation. Yearly electric pre-solar, yearly electric post, savings on the year. We factor in the SRECs, and then the yearly savings on electric, and we get a total savings for the year. Now, with those two figures, or a total savings of about $3,400, again, I can swipe or touch. I here get an ROI calculation in 8 years, and that's because the price per watt here is pretty high. It's $650 in this example installer that we have here. But you can see that it does the financial calculations and provides a very nice chart. Apologize, I got to stop moving the camera around. There we go, it's a little bit better. The next screen that we'll see is the actual number of panels that we'll be using. And in this case, we're saying we've got Schuko panels. So the homeowner will get 36 Schuko panels. It's got a nice graphic of the panels. And then we also have the ability to put your panel specification in here. Obviously, we're showing ET Solar here, but this would be whatever you would want it. And we touch next, and we get the environmental benefits of the system, things like the trees you'll be planting, the number of cars, and the number of cars that are taken off the road, etc. So this is nice when the home or business owner is interested in their carbon footprint and ultimately what the system will do for them. Finally, we go to the next screen. Now this is the actual PDF proposal that will be emailed to the homeowner when really we just touch this button here. And we email it right from the system. This is something new for those of you who have seen it before. And it's a really nice representation. It's basically the same thing we see in the iPad. It's just a longer version. And this is being generated out of our first tool, the ModSolar online proposal generator. You can see the panels in the house, the financial calculations, the environmental benefits, the installation schedule, and whatnot. The next major improvement to this is going to be to include financing information, making a comparison about financially what the system does if you take out a home equity loan, and for those of you that have leases available in other states besides Pennsylvania, leases and so on and so forth. So that is coming as well within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Finally, when I'm done and I've ended the conversation, a very important tool for salespeople is I want to go back to the home screen, and you'll see that when I touch the back button, I get this little pop-up which says, do you want to rate the interest of this home or business owner? So in this case, Mike was very excited about his solar system, and he wants to schedule a home visit. So we touch very interested, and that goes back to the home. That goes back into the database, and that information is made available to you, so you know who to contact first. So that's it. That's the ModSolar iPad app for trade shows, and soon for sales folks having those kitchen table conversations. Please find more information about this and contact us on our website at modsolar.net. Again, modsolar.net. Thank you very much.